is just fantastic. Captain's Log, subdates 220323.8. Remember last week's Captain's Log about inmate vices? Yeah, some inmates are greedy, and it's always the ones that were castrated first. How do they get off to this trash? Welcome everyone to the Halls of Injustice. Today we welcome inmate number 120 to the ISO cubes. He is going to be here for a while, and I'm going to insert a trigger warning before we even start the subject. His name is Prentiss Madden, and his crimes involve 2 different species. Yes, there is depravity, and then there's Prentiss Madden. He is going to be with us for quite a long time. So for this, we are going to talk a bit about who he is, the crime he committed, his trial, and sentence. Because there's no version of this where he's found innocent. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure why I would even allude to the chance of them being innocent in this. They're all guilty, and they're all going to prison for a long time. Considering the position of trust within the community that Prentiss Madden had with what he was caught having done, this will only lead to further distrust within his own community but others who see this case and think, well, they really are everywhere. Which sounds a little cryptic, but that's okay, because now I'm going to tell you a little bit about Prentiss Madden, so you can best understand how high he was on the ladder to how far he fell. Prentiss Madden, aka inmate number 120, was born in 1981 in California. He attended Tuskegee University College and studied veterinary medicine, which was, according to his own website, no longer in existence. He is the proud pet to 1 Shih Tzu, Lucky, and 2 Burmese pythons, Mocha and Sherbet. On that same website, he bragged about enjoying traveling, eating, hiking, snorkeling, and being an aquarium hobbyist. Prentiss Madden was the former medical director of Caring Hands Animal Hospital and was reasonably well known on social media. In fact, he maintained a TikTok account, a Twitter, a Telegram, YouTube, Snapchat. He had huge social media reach to the point that many companies would reach out to him to promote their products. It was believed as of 2021 he had a net worth of roughly $600,000, no doubt that's gone down, and also means absolutely nothing anymore. You'll understand why soon, I promise. Within his own community, while living a luxurious lifestyle, he was very well respected, because he gave off the impression of somebody who cared about all living creatures. In fact, if you Google him and get image searches, most of them involve him cuddling a dog. About that. Now with this knowledge, we're now going to go into the crimes of Prentiss Madden. Again, I will restate, this is about to get dark, so consider it a trigger warning. There are 2 separate crimes involving 2 different species. In mid-March of 2021, South Florida federal prosecutors charged Prentiss K. Madden with a number of rather heinous crimes. The criminal complaint affidavit, which was unsealed then, contained allegations against Prentiss Madden. Law enforcement agents had received a cyber tip that an IP address registered to Prentiss Madden's home in Miami repeatedly accessed a cloud-based file-sharing service containing images of child pornography. As part of that then investigation, law enforcement agents arrived, executed a search warrant of Prentiss Madden's home, and started digging. In that home, they discovered a cell phone, which is believed to have belonged to Prentiss Madden. That phone is where all the evidence resides. On that phone, it contained several sexually explicit videos and images of minors. But that's not where it stops. In the first 2 parts of this video, I alluded to 2 different species. Yes, there were chats on that phone that discussed the sexual abuse of children and animals. According to the affidavit, some of the chats contained images that appeared to be of Prentiss Madden engaging in sexual activity with dogs. Apparently, Whitney, Wisconsin had race swapped and gender switched just for this. The agents also discovered over 1,000 images of child pornography and other forms of animal abuse in Madden's cloud-based sharing account. The geolocation information to one of the images depicting alleged bestiality links to the animal hospital where Prentiss Madden served as medical director and veterinarian. The other form of abuse has a name, and it's not a good one. If you're a dog lover, you're not going to like what I'm about to say. The content in question is more commonly known as a crush video. In these videos, animals are trampled, stepped on, or smashed to death for the sexual gratification of the viewer. Upon making this discovery, Prentiss Madden was arrested and charged with the following: 1 count of possession of child pornography, 2 additional counts for receiving child pornography, 1 count of animal crushing in violation of Title 18 of the United States Code Section 48A1, a more recent law that was actually introduced in 2019 that prohibits many forms of animal abuse. A law I can fully support for a whole slew of reasons, not least because I've said it on multiple occasions: parity of esteem. If you harm an animal, the sentence is life. Simple as that. Based on those charges, by the way, if he was convicted of them and received the maximum sentence those charges would give him, he would spend 37 years in prison. And at the age of 40, he'd be quite old by the time he got to see the outside of a prison cell. While a case was built against him, Prentiss Madden was remanded into custody at a prison in Miami somewhere. I couldn't care less where. Now that is, as far as story goes, quite the fall from grace, don't you think? So it is with this we now have to go to the trial itself. But just before we go to that, I do want to insert something interesting. Last week when we spoke of Mark Redwine, I mentioned it was a state crime. This is a federal crime. It met the criteria for it, so it was treated as such. And it did because animal torture is a federal crime. That's where it crossed the line. During the trial, it was proven that he had been using Dropbox to share and receive the files that he, had on his phone and computer, along with confirming that he had been shooting and transferring accounts of himself over Dropbox, videos of him physically attacking dogs and then fostering other related canines. A lot of the court documents I tried to look for to best showcase what actually happened are behind a minor paywall. Quite irritating over here, I will admit. But we do have a criminal cover sheet, which has 1, did this matter originate from a matter pending in the central region of the United States Attorney's Office prior to and a certain date. It's a criminal cover sheet. This goes through what criteria are met. That's nothing more than that. But we do have a passage from the trial itself. A video titled Video May the 2nd shows a black male engaging in sexual activity with a female dog. EXIF data for this video file indicates the video was taken on or about the 3rd of May 2018, approximately 2:33 a.m. with an Apple iPhone 7 and GPS coordinates geolocating back to the animal hospital where Madden was employed as a licensed veterinarian and medical director. This leads me to believe that Madden may be abusing animals entrusted to his care. This video is approximately 1 minute and 5 seconds long. A pet owner that had allowed Prentiss Madden to look after their dog, for health reasons of course, told the Broward Palm Beach New Times. At first we thought no dogs were ever harmed there, then we find out it's a lot worse than we thought. He had, this person, referred multiple friends to the clinic, further stating, what made me pissed off is there's a good chance it might have been Pamela. She did fit the description, which refers to his brown and white Shih Tzu named Pamela Anderson. In early August of 2021, Prentiss Madden pled guilty to making animal torture porn, along with possession of child pornography and 2 counts of receiving child pornography. And I'm going to insert one last distressing additional bit of information, so skip about 30 seconds if you don't want to hear it. Madden had revealed that he had sexually abused dogs with sex toys, his own hands, his penis, and took photos of himself abusing several different dogs. And that earlier sentence of 37 years, well, according to a couple sources, you can add an additional 50 as a maximum penalty for all that he did with all that was found on his devices. As this was being shared to other people, I'm sure it led to a lot of arrests and even more people getting prison time for their involvement in this, quite frankly, despicable, diabolical crime. So now let's move on to the sentence of Prentiss Madden. On October the 9th, 2021, after having pled guilty to basically all the charges, Prentiss Madden, aka inmate number 120, was sentenced to 272 months behind bars, which is, for those who can count, 22 years. I know in some instances good behaviour means he'll only do 11 years, but I do believe severity of crime might in some way, let's say, negatively impact his chances on that front. When he spoke to the judge, Judge Martinez, Prentiss Madden attributed his crimes to past trauma, roll your eyes by all means, and explained how he witnessed his stepfather severely beating his mother as a child, saying, "This is never who I planned to be or thought I would be. It does not represent who I am as a person." So now we know that the defense was depression and childhood trauma. Interesting. Clearly, Judge Martinez disregarded all those mitigating factors, quotations around those words, in favor of doling out the harshest sentence that he could, that the federal guidelines permitted. Congratulations, Prentiss Madden. You will be spending a lot of time in one of these ISO cubes. Now, my sentence is a little different. First of all, castration, as is customary with people like you. Second, we're going to feed that to the dogs. It seems only fair. And third, your sentence is eternity working on Titan. Congratulations on your sentence. We hope to never see you again. As we are done with this subject, I'd very much like to know what you all think. Please do let me know in the comments down below. Hope to see you all on Twitch tonight. If not, have a cracking day, and thank you all very much for listening.